Hi guys, today I'll be sharing our curriculum picks for 4th grade for the 2020-2021 school year. Okay, so for Bible study, some days I am going to continue selecting a psalm or proverb for the kiddos and have them write that down, and then they get to draw, pictures and just decorate the page. They usually enjoy doing that. So that's what we'll do some days. Other days we will continue to pick pages from our Bible coloring book. We have been using this book for about 2 years now. Sometimes we take a couple days on one picture. The kids really enjoy just going through that, and I play a Bible verse, and whilst we are listening to that verse, they get to color. A few days I may color with them, but they have been enjoying that. The other thing that I will be doing this year for Bible study is that I am going to start utilizing some of the kids' devotional from my Bible app, and we are going to try attempting a couple of those this year. All right, so for math, we are continuing with math. You see, this works well for us. She has finished the gamma, so now we are moving on to the delta. This is the DVD, and this is the student workbook. Then the test book, which I usually do after after she's finished with the workbook, we usually do the test book. That system has worked for us so far. And then I usually just use the manual to assist me with getting through correcting their work quicker. So that's what we're going to be doing for math. For logic, we are going to continue with the daily higher order thinking. We did this last year and the kids enjoyed this. I did speak about this on my blog recently, but so yeah, we're going to try to do the 3rd grade as a group this year, and I will see if we are going to get to the 4th grade, because doing it as a group worked well last year. So this is the 3rd grade. And this is the 4th grade. So that's what I have planned for logic this year. For reading, we are going to continue with all about reading. We do have a bit to finish in the level 3. So when she's finished with that, then we are going to move on to the level 4, which is the last level in the all about reading. This version is this edition, is colored, because prior to this it was just black and white. So, and then we have the 2 readers, Heirloom Antics and The Voyage. So that's what we're going to continue with for reading. For all about spelling, we are going to move on to level 4. We were able to finish level 3, so now we are on the level 4. So that's what we'll be doing for spelling. For writing, as our main spine, she is going to be using the Writing with Ease for her learning style, which is through reading and writing. This program does work really well for her. However, she has indicated that she would like to try something else, probably something that she would enjoy, a little better than this. So we are going to be pulling from this writing rhetoric. This is the first level. Now, my intention will not be to finish either of these this year, but instead of just totally making the switch, I am going to have her do a bit of both, and then we're going to decide, what direction we are going to move from there. But even if it is I don't continue with this is what I plan to use with my middle baby, whose learning style is kinesthetic mostly, and this doesn't really work that well for her. So anyway, so we're going to be doing a bit of both of this year for writing. All right, so this is the writing rhetoric and writing with ease. For grammar, we are going to be continuing with first language lessons. This program doesn't have a lot of frills, but it really does work well for us. So this is the workbook, and then the manual. And these I have as extra resources for grammar. However, I will be adding this to her required reading this year. That's just how we're going to use these this year. She's just going to read through these. So this is the diagramming dictionary and the grammar guidebook. So that's what you're going to be doing for grammar. So these subjects in the back here, even though they are part of her 4th grade curriculum, they also form our family subjects. So for science, last year what I did is I took the K through 3rd grade of the DK series, and we did this as a group, and the kids really enjoyed doing that. We also did a couple of the experiments. So this year, as a group, what we are going to be working through is these interactive notebooks. I have the 2nd through the 4th grade, and I am just going to be pulling activities from here, and we are going to be attempting some of those. So that's what we are going to be doing mainly as a group for science. Now, this In God's Design Human Body, Animal and Plant set, we have actually owned this curriculum for about 3 years. And how I use it is I would pull topics from here and sometimes do read alouds and then accompany it with videos or documentaries. And that's how we have been using those for the past 3 years. Now, for my 4th grader this year, instead of buying a new curriculum, what she's going to be working through is the unit quizzes and worksheets, the printables from this set, from the Human Body, Animals, and Plants set. So that is what she's going to be doing more or less on her own. And if it is I need to add any resources to assist, that is what we are going to be using for her for science. Depending on how she does with that, I may add the In God's Design physical set, because that does go with her nicely with her self-interest. So that's what we're going to be doing for science. For geography, we took a similar approach to the science, and I combined the K through 4th grade of the DK workbooks. This series runs from pre-K to the 6th grade, but we did up to the 4th grade last year. So I'm going to do something similar this year, where I am going to add the 3rd through the 6th grade. Now, the 3rd and 4th grade, I'm only going to pull her in for those activities that are probably a little bit on the tougher end. So that's where she will be, coming in on the 3rd and 4th grade. But her main focus will be the 5th and 6th grade in the DK workbooks series. And this maps and geography, we're just going to continue pulling from here this year. So that's what we are going to be doing for geography. All right, so for government, we are going to be using this Osborne Understanding Politics and Government. And we're also going to be reading from How the U.S. Government Works. And for economics, we are going to be using this Osborne Money for Beginners. And also by Osborne, the Osborne Business for Beginners. So that's what we're going to be doing for government and economics. For general history, we are going to be continuing with this fun schooling series. Hopefully we are going to get a lot more done this year than we did last year. So we're just going to continue from here. So this is the United States Social Studies book. Then you have the American History Timeline and the United States Geography, History, and Social Studies Handbook. For history, general history, last year what I also did is the geography and history portion of the What Your Kid Needs to Know. I would pull from any one of them that I have on hand, and I would read it aloud, and then I would add YouTube videos or documentaries wherever I could have. So that's what we're going to continue with for history, general history for the most part. Then for African American history, I'm going to continue to pull from this 100 African Americans who shaped American history, which we have been using for a while now. Also, the Kids Guide to African American History. And we're going to read through this again, which we have read through this quite a few times. A Child's Introduction to African American History. So we are going to continue using those, adding videos and documentaries where we can as well. And then for African American history as readers, these 3 to the top, I am going to try chapter by chapter, reading through probably 1 chapter at a time with my eldest, and then we are going to have discussions. I don't intend to try to finish these 3 this year. We're just going to start going through these. They Had a Dream, the Civil Rights Struggle. Henry Louis Gates Jr., Dark Sky Rising. And this is the kids' version of Stamped, Racism, Anti-Racism, and You. So we're just going to get started on those. And then some of these would be readers that she would read on her own, and then others are readers that I would read with all of them aloud. The March on Washington, A Long Walk to Water, a couple who was to add to our set upstairs. What was the Underground Railroad? What were the Negro Leagues? Who were the Tuskegee Airmen? Little Legends, Exceptional Men in Black History. We do have the Exceptional Women in Black History version to this. The Fierce 44. Hey, Black Child. He's Got the Whole World in His Hands. Tick-tock, Banneker's Clock. Oops. Schomburg, The Man Who Built a Library. Tiny Stitches. Hammering for Freedom. And The Undefeated. So this is all of these are going to add nicely to our African American history shelf. Alright guys, thank you very much for watching, and I will talk to you guys in my next video. Bye.